First of all, thanks a lot for joining in the Next-Gen LabCon Summit with us, Dr. Ella. So to begin with, I would like to ask, it's been a wonderful journey of 27 years and the growth of Bharat Biotech is really exceptional, which the world knows now. So being a first generation scientist turned entrepreneur, how do you see scientists becoming entrepreneurs and what drove you to set up Bharat Biotech?
Science is very simple. Why we get a degree PhD is to do science which can solve the society problem. If you do any society problem, you become a good scientist and you will become an entrepreneur also. There's nothing very big thing in that. Every scientist, if you start thinking, whether academic or industry person, if you start thinking that I have to solve this society problem, some problem is there in this country or society, I want to solve as a mission. If you do that, scientists become an entrepreneur.
Okay. How important has been Covaxin for Bharat Biotech, for India? The learnings from it, if you can help us.
Covaxin is very important strategically for India because we at least we have not imported a single dose of vaccine from any part of the world. So we become a fourth country in the world after US and UK, China. We become fourth country in the world to have self-sufficient vaccine production. I think that's very important strategically for a country like us. And that also, many people, start thinking that India cannot do it.
Yeah.
And Indian science cannot match with global science. So everybody predicted something will have a fall. Or scientifically we cannot prove it. Just do some 200 people clinical trial, gets approved, will not stand out globally. Today I'm happy to say we have 27 publication. In that 9 Lancet, 3 Nature publication, all top journals. Nothing less than a Pfizer or AstraZeneca's publication. It's almost on par with the publication. Shown that in peer-reviewed journal that Indian science is not less than anybody else in the world.
That's so true. So you have been always vocal about the increased focus on neglected disease. You've been in various forums, you have spoken about it, right? So what should be the approach next for the drug companies and government in this regard?
I've been focusing on neglected disease because I predicted that all neglected diseases are in Asia and Africa. Okay, number one. And all neglected disease turns into pandemic later. You look at SARS-1, MERS, yellow fever, dengue, you look at Africa and Asia, these are the problem. And that all neglected disease becomes into pandemic. This is what my mission was right from the beginning. And also my second strategy was, I want to identify niche from myself as a company, Indian company, from the multinationals. I don't want to compete with the multinational or compete with US or Europe, everything. Rather, I will find my own niche that can help me to stand out as a leader. So that's how we focused on neglected disease. That's how they came into COVID and other problems, chikungunya, Zika, all came.
I think you predicted COVID also quite before, right?
I predicted not COVID, 2019, December 5th,
Yeah.
Carnegie Mellon had a meeting in Leela Palace in Bangalore. And 3-4 scientists were also there in the meeting. And I said, if there is a pandemic, Bangalore city will be empty on December 5th, 2019. Then 2 months down, you had. Because nature is giving a signal. But we are ignoring the signal. SARS-1 came, MERS came, and pandemic flu came. That's all giving a signal, but we are just neglecting and taking it granted. So that nature signal, you have to pick it up and then start visualizing. Whether it comes or not, we have to be prepared.
So can you tell us about the digital technological advancement that has been made in recent times by Bharat Biotech International Limited, and also what is your take on, this is two different things but I just wanted to merge it, and also what is your take on mRNA technology for vaccine development? Do you think it is a stable option for vaccine development?
No, it's a great platform. mRNA also is another platform, easiest to scale it up, easy to reach on the pandemic angle. But we have to see the long-term safety profile of that on the children. So we are focusing heavily on childhood vaccines. So I still believe my traditional strategies is safer for a child. I don't want to have something to happen. So that is clear. As a scientist, I believe in that still world is gold. So I'm going with that strategy. But technology changing. For example, Covaxin. we introduce a new adjuvant in that so that it makes a T cell response, not IgG response. So whereas other vaccines, it produces IgG response and then after 1 or 2 months it drops. Whereas the T cell response is a long-term memory and also protects other variants. And we published at least about more than in that 27 publication, 8 publications are only on variants. It protects again variants also. It will not. You don't have to go to hospital. Even small disease come, you will still have cold, but nothing go to the hospital. So we have shown that adding some new adjuvant into the vaccine, shifting to T cell response, like childhood vaccine. So you got a child, you give a 3-dose vaccine, it's lifetime immunity. You don't give any more vaccine. That concept, I brought it here in the COVAX, so that it's a memory will be there. Even something COVID again, a new variant comes, you will not get into hospitalized.
One more question on Covaxin only. In a recent discussion, you raised this issue of excess capacity due to the declining takeoff of COVID vaccines. How are you dealing with the situation and use of the facilities, if you could?
I think it's a global phenomenon right now. We have entire globe has got excess capacity of vaccine right now. So we have excess capacity, Pfizer, everybody has got excess capacities. Now, how do you move that to other program? But that is going to take a time. It's going to take a time. We will have to withstand that facility, excess facility, hold it for next 2-3 years and move on.
Anything on nasal vaccines you want to just comment on, like how it's doing, and because it was also a new thing which was launched by Bharat Biotech.
I mean, we're proud that Nasal, at least we were the first vaccine platform approved in the world. So at least we brought India's strategy that India can lead, also the lead on the innovation also. So we brought that nasal vaccine. Of course, there was no market. By the time we came in, there's no disease.
How satisfied are you with the company's financial performance in 2023? Because after all the COVID is how it has been, and what is your current outlook in 2024?
I mean, see, we're going to have a fall in the revenue. That's what expected. Like it's not going to have pandemic all the time. Pandemic. We don't want that revenue also at the exploiting the humanity of the world. Okay? We don't want that. So we have now dropped the sales, but at least as a company, we are a debt-free company. So that speaks about the financial system of the company.
You have always spoken about the humanitarian angle, so we do understand. So one last question. So you have always encouraged young scientists to explore new ideas. Can you share your success mantra in 2 or 3 pointers so that it helps a lot of youngsters, especially the startups who are coming in?
No, I recommend scientists in 21st century, if you're going to copy, you're not going to reach anywhere. You will be outdated in 5-10 years. The world is moving very fast in science. You have to be in the stream, along with the stream, to be innovative, take a risk. For innovative, it doesn't mean that you have to be high risk. Simple thing with your own expertise, what you can do something to society with your expertise. You do that become innovative. It's not something you find somewhere in the book on innovation. Suppose you have a iron problem in the water content in Warangal, Karimnagar, all the problem. You have somebody who's good in water purification system guy. You can put in every village a business model, and that becomes iron-free water in the villages. That becomes innovation and solving the society problem. It also becomes a revenue model for you. The simple thinking.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for taking out time once again and being with us. It was an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I appreciate the ETPharma conducting this meeting, lab meeting, and I'm really proud of that. And I think you should do more and see that, because biotech industry cannot grow without laboratory things also.
Yes.
The other ancillary industry grows along with it. And these are the ancillary industries which are very critical for the biotech and vaccine industry to move forward.
Thank you so much.